Hello, 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 and welcome back to Cook It and Eat It here on Jim Johnston Reviews the World. And today we have for you our pot of gold corned beef Reuben sandwiches. These are going to be some seriously loaded, seriously delicious Reubens just in time for St. Patty's Day or any day for that matter. So get out those green suspenders, put on those green beads, and ladies and gentlemen, let's do up cooking and eating St. Patty's Day style. All right, in order to make this recipe, you're going to need just a few key ingredients. A loaf of marble rye bread, 1 small onion, julienne. We're going with Sweet Baby Ray's secret horsey sauce today instead of the traditional Thousand Island. More on that later. Gonna want a nice sauerkraut. I always use German. Kind of seems a little weird. A little bit of spinach on this. You gotta have some green at St. Patty's Day. Then you're gonna want some deli pastrami, and then you're gonna want some corned beef. This is homemade. Link to this recipe in the video description below. So you're gonna have a nice pile of corned beef, nice pile of pastrami. Then over here we have our Havarti cheese here, and baby Swiss that was completely unholy. You're gonna need some butter, and we have a 7 seasoning blend. We'll get into the details of that in a moment. Let's move everything around. First thing we're going to do, get ready to fry that kraut. All right, let's get to cooking. We're going to fry our kraut and our onions. So first thing, a little splash of olive oil, or in this case, grapeseed oil. And then we're going to add to that nearly a full tablespoon of butter. All right, we got our butter going. Get that melted. Dump in the onions. That was 1 small onion julienne. And we're going to put in about half of a 24-ounce jar of kraut. And I usually only lightly drain my kraut. I don't rinse my kraut. I always use a German-style kraut as opposed to a Polish style. All right, we got about half of our German-style kraut into there, and then we're going to go in, sprinkle in our 7 spice blend, always adding flavor. That spice blend you saw there was 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, half teaspoon of Southwest Chipotle, half teaspoon basil, half teaspoon oregano, 1/4 teaspoon crushed rosemary, and crushed red pepper. That red pepper will be optional if you're sensitive to spice. So we're going to go ahead, and we're going to let this start cooking off, turning it every couple minutes until our onions are softened, and everything begins to reach a nice, rich, golden brown, and delicious. Okay, now as you see that sauerkraut start to reach that beautiful golden brown color, a little bit of char around some of the edges, go ahead and get you out 4 pieces of that bread, that marble rye, and lightly butter all 4 slices on one side. Okay, so this is what we're looking for out of our sauerkraut. Nice, wonderful, mostly golden brown and delicious throughout. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove this perfectly cooked, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to go on medium-high heat with your biggest frying pan, or a frying pan big enough to fit those 4 slices of bread. A square electric griddle would be real nice here too. So heat this over medium-high heat, and we'll be right back. All right, we got everything here. It's sandwich time. Let's do it. We're gonna start out. Nice hot frying pan. You wanna know if your pan's nice and hot? Give it a little squirt of water. Should be about 4 seconds for what we're trying to do here today. Now we just want some butter, just enough to roll around the pan for a thin coat. All right, we got our thin layer of butter in. We're gonna go ahead and put our breads in. Butter side up to start with. All right, we got our 4 slices of bread down, and we're gonna go ahead and let those toast until they're just slightly browned and crisped up on the bottom side. I'd say around a minute. All right, looks like we got our breads toasted up on one side. We're gonna go ahead and flip them now. All right, once you flip that over, go ahead and divide one of your slices of baby Swiss in half, and then break up and distribute that half a slice of baby Swiss and the 2 slices of Havarti cheese. Go ahead and put that on here. Let's start toasting, and we still have a slice and a half of Swiss left for the end. Okay, just as soon as that cheese starts to melt, go ahead in here and pick 2 of these and lay down some sauerkraut. This will go right in the middle. Thin layer of the sauerkraut, spread it all over on 2 of these. All right, we got our thin layer of kraut down, and then we want to put just a couple small drops, just a little bit of that sauce. All right, and then you just give those another minute or 2 to warm through. Start toasting the backside, and then you go ahead and close those up like that, inside to inside. Go ahead and press that down a little bit. We're gonna flip this because I know there's gonna be more brown on that other side already. There we go. So if you haven't figured it out yet, essentially what we're making to house our mass of corned beef is 2 stuffed grilled cheese sandwiches. Go ahead and press that down after you flip it and get both of these golden brown and delicious. At this point, we're going to go ahead and treat our 2 separately made stuffed kind of grilled cheese sandwiches. We're going to treat this at this point like this is just 2 pieces of bread. And this is going to be the inside of our sandwich. We've got the cheese on. We're going to go ahead in with another thin layer, or whatever kind of layer you like, of our sauerkraut and a little drop of our dipping sauce. As I mentioned at the beginning, once we get to this point, things start happening pretty fast. So these got golden brown and ready, and I had to pull them before I could grab the camera. So here is our finished toast. We want to go in and lay in a nice healthy layer. I'd say a good healthy handful, a good sized handful of spinach. This is St. Patty's Day. We got to have something green, and that vitamins and minerals in our spinach today will help counteract some of the effects of all this beef. All right, it's beef time. Real thin layer of the cooking spray, just a little bit. Let's go ahead and start throwing that meat in. For this sandwich, I'm going with 4 deli slices of pastrami, and probably 1/3 of a pound, maybe up towards a 1/2 pound of our homemade corned beef. That's Instant Pot corned beef, perfect Instant Pot corned beef, and the link to the short on that is in the video description below. I mentioned things start happening fast at this point. Our pastrami is grilled perfectly. Corned beef, pastrami done, corned beef in. Toss in your corned beef, however much you want. All right, so just warm through and then lightly caramelize the outside of your corned beef here. Should take just no more than even a couple minutes on both sides. And as your meat crisps up, just go ahead and start layering those finished pieces onto your sandwich here. A couple more to go. Would be finished sandwich. Whew, that's hot. Get all that, and we are about ready. All right, here we have our nearly completed pot of gold corned beef sandwich. At this point, it's pretty much done. If you love sauerkraut, you can go with more of that. I think we got enough. I'm gonna put just a couple small drops of our sauce on, and then figure out if we can close it up. Before we cut into this and do our taste test, I want to thank you all for joining us here on Jim Johnston Reviews the World today and another delicious episode of Cook It and Eat It. This has been our pot of gold corned beef sandwich, just in time for St. Patrick's Day. If you like me, you like my stuff, go ahead and subscribe below, comment, share this to help us grow the worldwide audience. Also check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Jim Johnston Reviews the World, all one word. Also check out my friends RFS Dan and Getting Baked with Crystal, who for fun had a little bit of input into the making of this sandwich today. If you like the looks of my corned beef, go ahead and check out the video below. It is a short. We're trying a little series of shorts now with the Instant Pot, so we'll see how that works out. All right, I think this sucker's about 4 inches deep. Probably could have used a bigger knife, but this is actually my sharpest knife. So without further ado, let's cut into it. All right, let's see what we have here, folks. Bam. All right, check that out. Look at this. I can barely even get my hands around it. Look at this sandwich, folks at home. Look at that. Piled up. New York City high. Mile high. Chicago, City of Broad Shoulders high. Boston strong, anywhere you're at. If you're Irish, today's your day. It's St. Patrick's Day. Have your sandwich, thick and hearty, and enjoy. For serving suggestions, classic, carrots, boiled potatoes, things like that. But today I decided to go with a little bit of couscous, a smoked flavored couscous with some Prince Edward vegetable blend mixed right in. All right, what have we been waiting for? Let's give this big mamba. Whew, that's a sandwich and a half. Let's give it a taste and see how it comes out. My God. Oh my God. Wow. Woo! Boy, if that don't give you a top of the morning. It's wonderful, big and thick as it is, all the flavors mesh and blend perfectly. This is a hearty sandwich, made for a hearty appetite. St. Patty's Day we're celebrating. No diets today, you know. Well, there you have it, folks. There is our killer pot of gold corned beef sandwich in honor of St. Patrick's Day. We'll see you again real soon here on Cook It and Eat It. But before we go, from me to you, I want you to always remember, be weird, be free, and most importantly, be independent.